What if you woke up tomorrow and your entire financial life had been quietly halved while you slept? This isn't about a market crash. This is about a currency collapse. Your bank account, your retirement fund, the cash in your pocket, all of it, suddenly possessing only half the purchasing power it did yesterday. The life you built would financially unravel before your first cup of coffee. We're going to walk through exactly how this nightmare unfolds, not in years, but in a matter of days. And we'll uncover the 5 critical phases that transform a stable society into a struggle for survival. This has happened before, 2 powerful nations. Let's be clear, this is not science fiction. It is historical fact, repeated across continents and centuries. In 1920s Germany, people used stacks of money as kindling because it was cheaper than firewood. At the peak, a single US dollar was worth 4 trillion German marks. In post-World War II Hungary, the worst case in history, prices doubled every 15 hours. And in modern Zimbabwe, the government eventually issued a $100 trillion note that couldn't buy a bus ticket. These societies didn't crumble slowly. They were financially vaporized. So, what unique shield has protected America? For over 7 decades, the US dollar has been the world's reserve currency. This isn't just a title, it's the ultimate financial privilege. It means every nation needs dollars to trade oil, commodities, and to stabilize their own economies. This immense global demand allows the US to print money, run colossal deficits, and essentially export its inflation to the rest of the world. We have been living in a financial reality distortion field. But that field is now failing. We are now witnessing the convergence of 3 fatal triggers. First, the debt trap. Our national debt has surpassed $37 trillion, a figure so large it exceeds our entire annual economic output. We are quite literally borrowing from our future to pay for our present. Second, monetary dilution. In crisis periods, we flooded the economy with new dollars, expanding the money supply at a pace that risks outstripping the actual value we produce. And third, and most critically, the end of exclusivity. The world is building an exit ramp from the dollar highway. China and Russia have operational alternative payment systems. Saudi Arabia has agreed to sell oil in currencies other than the dollar. And the BRICS nations are actively developing a new gold-backed trading currency. The monopoly is breaking. When confidence finally snaps, the collapse won't be a slide, will be a cliff. This brings us to phase 1, the psychological implosion. It begins not in the markets, but in the human mind. The moment major news outlets run the headline dollar in freefall, a collective switch flips. Confidence, the invisible foundation of all money, evaporates. The first visible symptom will be the bank run of the 21st century. It will be digitally supercharged. Mobile banking apps will crash under the load of millions simultaneously trying to transfer their savings. ATMs will display out of service within 2 hours. People will storm stores, not to shop, but to perform a desperate act of financial triage, converting dying dollars into anything tangible. Canned food, bottled water, ammunition, fuel. The Federal Reserve will be cornered. Raise interest rates to attract buyers for the dollar, and they instantly trigger a depression. Do nothing and watch the currency incinerate. Phase 2 is the import shockwave. America is not a self-sufficient fortress. We import 15% of our total food supply. Think about your grocery store. Coffee, chocolate, bananas, out-of-season fruits. These are all imports. Their prices would double, or worse, overnight. But the deeper crisis is in the inputs. Modern farming runs on imported fertilizer and diesel. So even the bread made from US wheat and the milk from US cows would see catastrophic price increases. The family dinner table becomes a primary stressor. Then comes energy. Since oil is priced in dollars, a halved dollar means the global price in our currency effectively doubles. The $4 gallon of gas becomes $8. The cost to heat your home, to power the grid, to transport every single good across the country explodes. The entire logistics backbone of the nation seizes up. This leads directly to Phase 3, the systemic fracture. Let's look at housing. Mortgage rates would soar into the double digits, freezing the entire market. If you have a fixed-rate mortgage, you'd be paying it with cheap dollars, a seeming win. But your property taxes, home insurance, and repair costs would skyrocket, nullifying any advantage. New construction would cease. The price of imported lumber, steel, and copper would make building a home a luxury for the ultra-wealthy. Next, the healthcare catastrophe. America imports 40% of its active pharmaceutical ingredients and a staggering 80% of its finished generic drugs. The cost of insulin, antibiotics, and cancer drugs would become prohibitive. In a dollar collapse, a simple prescription becomes a luxury item. Hospitals would face rationing care. Your health would become directly tied to your remaining purchasing power. Our technological infrastructure would begin to decay. Every smartphone, computer, and network router relies on imported components. Replacing broken devices and maintaining high-speed internet would become exorbitantly expensive. We would witness a slow-motion digital dark age. Phase 4 is the great unraveling of society itself. The job market would bifurcate. Millions of jobs in retail, import-dependent manufacturing, and tech would vanish. Conversely, brutal, low-paying jobs in subsistence farming and local manufacturing might emerge. But the transition would be chaotic and violent. The social contract would shatter. Those who owned real assets, productive land, gold, productive skills would stabilize. Those who relied on paper dollar savings accounts, pensions, fixed incomes would be financially annihilated. The wealth gap wouldn't just widen, it would become a chasm of resentment. Crime rates would surge, not out of malice, but out of necessity, as people fight to feed their families. Finally, we reach Phase 5, the New World Order, America's global influence. Funded for decades by the strong dollar, would evaporate. Maintaining our military presence overseas would become unaffordable. Our ability to sanction other nations would disappear. We would be forced to renegotiate every trade deal from a position of profound weakness. The world would reorganize itself into new economic blocs, and America would likely be on the outside looking in. This is not a recession you wait out. This is a permanent reset. The America that emerges is poorer, more isolated, and inwardly focused. The age of abundance would be replaced by an era of scarcity. The warning signs are no longer subtle. They are flashing in bright red in the form of our debt, our monetary policy, and the coordinated global move away from the dollar. The question is not if the math catches up with us, but when. And history shows us that when confidence goes, it goes all at once. This is not a call for panic, but a call for awareness. To see the future, you must first be willing to look at it. Understand these phases, recognize the patterns, and prepare your mind. 'Cause when the wind shifts, the prepared adjust their sails.